Chuck Norris couldn't or wouldn't do. The 86-year-old, long deemed invincible, has died suddenly, leaving his legion of fans in shock.
Have you ever wondered how a shy boy from rural Oklahoma transformed himself into one of the most recognizable action stars in the world? For decades, the name Chuck Norris has represented toughness, discipline, and determination. Millions know him as Cordell Walker from Walker, Texas Ranger. Others remember his martial arts championships, his unforgettable fight with Bruce Lee, or the countless internet jokes that turned him into a global pop culture phenomenon. But behind the legend is a much more fascinating story. One built not on myths, but on years of hard work, sacrifice, and persistence. Before Hollywood ever called, Chuck Norris was simply Carlos Ray Norris, born on March 10, 1940, in Ryan, Oklahoma. His childhood was anything but glamorous. His family struggled financially, moving from place to place in search of better opportunities. Life at home was difficult, and Norris would later speak openly about growing up shy, insecure, and lacking confidence. He was not the strongest kid in school or the most athletic. In fact, he often described himself as someone who never imagined becoming famous. Everything changed after high school when he enlisted in the United States Air Force. Stationed in South Korea, Norris was introduced to martial arts for the very first time. What started as curiosity quickly became a passion. He devoted countless hours to training, discovering a level of discipline and self-confidence he had never experienced before. Those long practice sessions would ultimately shape the rest of his life. When Norris returned to the United States, he didn't become an actor overnight. Instead, he began teaching karate, opening martial arts schools throughout Southern California. His reputation as both a skilled fighter and an inspiring instructor grew rapidly. Among his students were celebrities, business leaders, and athletes who admired his dedication. His schools became highly successful, giving him financial stability long before Hollywood recognized his potential. At the same time, Norris was competing professionally. Throughout the 1960s, he established himself as one of America's top martial artists, winning numerous championships and earning respect throughout the competitive karate community. His disciplined fighting style and calm demeanor distinguished him from many of his rivals. Eventually, he captured multiple world titles, cementing his status as one of the era's greatest competitors. One of the most important moments in his life came when he met the legendary Bruce Lee. The two shared a deep respect for one another and often exchanged ideas about martial arts techniques and philosophy. Their friendship would eventually lead to one of cinema's most memorable fight scenes. In 1972, Bruce Lee invited Norris to appear in the film The Way of the Dragon. Their climactic battle inside Rome's ancient Colosseum became one of the most iconic martial arts sequences ever filmed. Although Norris played the villain and ultimately lost a fight on screen, audiences around the world were captivated by his athleticism, screen presence, and charisma. Ironically, the role that ended with his defeat launched a new chapter in his career. Hollywood soon realized that Norris had something unique. Unlike many actors who merely looked convincing, he possessed genuine martial arts expertise backed by years of championship competition. Producers began offering him larger roles, and he steadily built a loyal audience with action films that emphasized determination, honor, and justice. Movies such as Good Guys Wear Black, Lone Wolf McQuade, and Missing in Action established Norris as one of the biggest action stars of the 1980s. While other action heroes relied heavily on explosions and special effects, Norris became known for realistic martial arts choreography and characters who overcame impossible odds through discipline and courage. By the early 1990s, however, another opportunity arrived that would define his career more than any movie ever could. Television executives approached Norris with the idea for a modern Western crime drama centered on a Texas Ranger who combined old-fashioned values with elite martial arts skills. Many questioned whether an established movie star could successfully transition to television. Norris decided to take the risk. The gamble paid off. In 1993, Walker, Texas Ranger premiered and quickly found a devoted audience. Playing Sergeant Cordell Walker, Norris portrayed a lawman who relied on integrity, compassion, and martial arts expertise rather than intimidation alone. Week after week, viewers tuned in to watch Walker confront criminals while defending ordinary people with unwavering principles. The series ran for 9 successful seasons and became one of the most internationally recognized American television dramas of its era. It reached audiences in dozens of countries, introducing Chuck Norris to an entirely new generation of fans. For many viewers, he was no longer simply an action movie star. He had become a television icon. Yet the show's popularity represented more than entertainment. Norris insisted that its stories emphasized family, responsibility, respect, and personal accountability. Those values reflected his own beliefs and helped distinguish the series from many other action programs of the time. That commitment to positive storytelling became one of the reasons Walker, Texas Ranger, remained popular long after its original run ended. As his television success continued, Norris expanded beyond acting into publishing, endorsements, business ventures, and charitable work. Few people realized that the quiet boy who once doubted himself had built not only an extraordinary career, but also a lasting legacy that reached far beyond Hollywood. In Part 2, we'll explore how Chuck Norris transformed his television success into multiple business ventures, his philanthropic efforts through Kickstart Kids, the challenges his family faced, and how he built an estimated multi-million-dollar fortune that continues to make him one of the most successful martial artists in entertainment history. By the late 1990s, Chuck Norris had achieved something very few martial artists ever accomplished. He was no longer simply known as a champion fighter or a successful actor. He had become a trusted television personality whose name was recognized around the world. But while millions watched Walker, Texas Ranger each week, Norris was quietly building something that would outlast any television series, a legacy rooted in business, family, and giving back. Although acting remained his most visible career, it was never his only source of income. Over the years, Norris diversified his earnings through books, speaking engagements, licensing agreements, and endorsement partnerships. One of his most recognizable ventures came through his long-running association with the Total Gym Fitness System. Appearing alongside model and entrepreneur Christy Brinkley in television commercials, Norris introduced a home exercise equipment to audiences across the United States and many international markets. The advertisements aired for years, becoming one of the longest-running celebrity fitness campaigns on television and helping keep his public profile strong even after his acting career slowed down. Norris also became a successful author. His books explored topics ranging from martial arts and physical fitness to leadership, faith, and personal discipline. Rather than presenting himself as an invincible action hero, he often emphasized that success comes from perseverance, responsibility, and learning from failure. Those themes reflected the lessons he had learned throughout his own journey, from a shy young man lacking confidence to one of the world's most respected martial artists. Away from Hollywood, Norris devoted increasing attention to his family. He married Gina O'Kelly in 1998, and together they welcomed twins Dakota and Danny Lee. Friends often described Norris as happiest when spending time at home, away from cameras and movie sets. As his children grew older, he deliberately reduced his acting schedule, choosing family life over pursuing additional blockbuster roles. It was a decision he never publicly expressed regret about. One of the most meaningful chapters of his life involved helping young people. In 1990, Norris founded Kickstart Kids, a nonprofit organization that uses martial arts to teach character, discipline, respect, and self-confidence to students in schools across Texas. The program was created on a simple belief: the same discipline that transformed his own life can help young people overcome obstacles in theirs. Instead of focusing only on physical techniques, instructors encourage students to develop leadership, responsibility, and good decision-making. Over the decades, thousands of young people have participated in the program, many crediting it with improving both their confidence and academic performance. Whenever Norris discusses accomplishments, he frequently pointed to Kickstart Kids as one of the achievements that made him the proudest. Business opportunities also continued to emerge. Norris and his family became involved in Seaforce, a bottled water company built around a naturally sourced artesian aquifer located on their Texas ranch. The venture reflected his long-standing interest in health and wellness, extending the values he promoted through fitness and martial arts into another area of business. Despite his reputation as one of Hollywood's toughest action stars, Norris experienced his share of personal challenges. One of the most difficult periods came when his wife, Gina, developed serious health problems following medical imaging procedures involving contrast agents. Norris stepped away from much of his entertainment career to focus on supporting her recovery. He spoke publicly about the emotional and financial strain the experience placed on their family, explaining that being present for his wife mattered more than any film or television project. The couple later became advocates for greater awareness surrounding patient safety and medical decision-making. Whether or not people agreed with every aspect of their views, there was little doubt that Norris's commitment to his family remained unwavering. The man audiences associated with roundhouse kicks and dramatic fight scenes spent much of this chapter of his life simply being a devoted husband. Meanwhile, the popularity of Walker, Texas Ranger, continued through reruns and international syndication. Long after the series ended, new audiences continued discovering the show on television and streaming platforms. Its blend of action, traditional values, and memorable martial arts sequences helped it remain relevant decades after its original broadcast. Then came an unexpected cultural phenomenon that no one could have predicted. Beginning in the mid-2000s, internet users started creating humorous Chuck